Hello, today I just wanted to talk to you about Johnny's behaviors and how we're going to work together to uh, target his undesired behaviors, such as his aggressive behaviors towards his sister, when he hits his sister and kicks his sister. We want to decrease that behavior, and we want to increase the replacement behavior, which would be giving his sister a high five, giving his sister a hug. So we're going to use something called the ABCs of behavior, and the A stands for antecedent, which is anything that happens before Johnny's aggressive behavior occurs. The behavior would be the response to whatever happened, or the response to the antecedent. So the behavior is Johnny when he kicks his sister, or hits his sister, or pushes his sister. And then the consequence of his behavior is anything that happens directly after the behavior. And the consequence typically changes it changes the likelihood of his behavior occurring again. There are also lots of different types of punishment. There's obviously corporal punishment, spanking, hitting, and I personally do not believe that is going to lead to a decrease in his aggressive behaviors. That would lead to an increase. But there's also positive and negative punishment, just like reinforcement. Positive punishment is adding something that Johnny doesn't want following his behavior, and it will reduce the likelihood of that behavior occurring again. So that could be adding, a timeout. If Johnny hits his sister, he gets a timeout, and then hopefully eventually Johnny would realize that when he hits it or pushes his sister, he gets a timeout, so that will decrease the likelihood that he pushes or hits his sister. Negative punishment is taking away something that Johnny desires, such as taking away one of his toys when he hits, pushes, or kicks his sister, and that will also hopefully lead to a decrease in the likelihood of him hitting again. If he gets his Buzz Lightyear toy taken away each time he hits his sister, eventually the goal would be for him to realize that he's going to get his toy taken away, so he's not going to hit his sister. The ultimate goal is that when we teach Johnny a skill or a new behavior, that he will be able to generalize the behavior, which means he will be able to, if I teach him how to wash his hands here at school, he will be able to go home and wash his hands with you, or go to grandma's and wash his hands with her, or we just would want to make sure that he could wash his hands at all the bathrooms, not just one bathroom. So we want him to be able to perform the skills, behaviors across all different settings, different times, and around different people. So in order to really help Johnny, we're going to start by observing his behaviors. There are different types of assessments of Johnny's behavior. We could do a indirect assessment, which is basically I would go to you or to one of Johnny's teachers who has seen him engage in his aggressive behavior, kicking his sister, and I would ask you what types of factors were around in his environment when that happened. So was the TV on really loud? Did his sister take his toy? What kind of was causing his behavior? There's also direct or descriptive assessments, which is basically watching, like I'll be watching Johnny firsthand and observing him engaging in his aggressive behaviors. And there are a lot of different types of measurement systems that we use to be able to record Johnny's behavior, so we can track it and make sure that the interventions that we choose to use are effective. So there is frequency measurement, which is just measuring. It's a way to record ongoing behavior, measuring the number of times that the behavior occurs. So the number of times that Johnny were to hit his sister or push his sister in a specific amount of time. So we could say, if I was observing Johnny for an hour, I could say, how many times in 5 minutes, how many times did Johnny hit or push his sister? So in order to teach Johnny a skill, a lot of times I like to use modeling, which is just literally showing Johnny how to do the skill. So if I'm wanting Johnny to learn how to peel a banana and I take a banana and peel it while he's watching me, that's modeling the behavior, and that's very helpful. And also I like to use physical guidance. So if Johnny is not picking up toys during cleanup time and maybe he doesn't know how to do that and I want to teach him that skill, I will there'll be a toy right here and I will take my hand over his hand and help him to pick up the toy and place it in the bin. So that's physical guidance, which is physically taking the Johnny's hand or whatever part of his body and physically moving it the correct way in order to show Johnny how to perform the skill.